Today I have this great idea, this amazing, amazing idea. What we're going to do is we're going to go through all the worst reviews that I've gotten for all my books. Yeah, it's really, really, really good idea. So let's just get into it. We're going to start with my debut book. So it's my debut book, and it has the most reviews and ratings. So this is where we'll find all the good stuff, mostly, very, very mostly. This is going to make my book look so god awfully terrible that, well, yeah, okay, but it's better. And as you can tell, it has way more, it really trickles down. It's not a lot of bad reviews, but we're going to go through them. And I think actually we're going to start with the 1-star review, just get right into the meat. And it's only one. It's from Eris. And let me preface this. Preface this. It's preface, right? Being Norwegian, man, it's hard. Anyway, now, whoever this person is, Eris, she has an average rating of 3.58. So, most books she reads, she does not give a high rating to at all. Now, she gave me the lowest rating, of course, and she hated my book. So let's get into seeing what she said. And there are 2 comments here, and we're going to get, there are some characters here, some main characters, except me. So first off, I respond to this review, whatever it is, by saying, I'm sorry I took your time. And thank you for the chance. I do have to say that I never expected or expect to be successful, but I will do my best. Again, sorry you didn't like the story, and thanks for taking the chance on my work. Now, some other person named Eager Reader with a dinosaur has answered. Now, she comes back, or he, I think it's a she, but it might be a he. This person comes back, says, yes, a writer who needs to take a course in writing, sadly. Irritated that I paid money for this based on those awkward award stickers, which is, this book has won some awards, actually, because it's really, really good. We'll come back to Eager Reader. Now, this is the review. It starts like this. This book was boring, ridiculous, and not interesting. God, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Okay. Nothing was new or original. And together with bad writing, I just didn't have the energy to read any further. Apologize for misreading. I seriously don't know who came up with the nomination for this book, as it wouldn't even be printed on paper. Now, who came nominated, I don't know. So here is the review. Spoiler, I have to confess, and this is where my saving grace. I have to confess that I only managed to read about 18% of the book, as I kept remembering the beginning where that horrible monster killed the parents of our protagonist. And get ready for this one. It was such a lame excuse for her to start the journey, because when you think about it, it's so silly. Now, I don't know. I would like to think that when you say something like this, it was such a lame excuse for her to start her journey because, and then you have a pretty good reason, because it would never make sense for anyone to do this or blah, blah. But this is just stupid because it's silly. And because it's silly, that means that it's stupid. So I don't know. But okay, fair enough. Everyone's entitled to their stupid opinion, Eris. Maybe it's not that stupid. Okay, let's continue. Apparently, her abusive father told Ara, yes, she's named as the parrot. I don't know what parrot this is, but probably. To go wash herself because she stinks, right? So Ara smells because they are poor, and in the story, Ara is the protagonist, and they're poor. It beats me why she didn't do it at home, but had to walk in the night with monsters lurking to a stream. Yes, a stream in a city to wash herself. Well, let me tell you why she didn't do it at home. It's very simple. They don't have a bath at home. They don't have running water. This is medieval fantasy, and they're poor. They live in the rundowns, so that's why. Yes, no, she, the only surviving child and the obedient slave, yet she's been sent in the night to wash. Why she cannot do it at home, where she's doing all the chores, don't know. Huh. Well, again, she doesn't have a bath at home. She doesn't have a bath at home, so there's no place for her to wash. Despite doing chore, just because you do chores someplace doesn't mean that you also have a bath there. But, okay. Her inner monologue doesn't mention, Her inner monologue doesn't mention regular visits to this stream to fetch water for cooking, cleaning, so I assume they have running water in the house. Yet she's sent to... It's a very weird assumption to make. Listen, okay, Eris, you didn't like the book. That's fine. That's fair. No problem. That's your opinion. I feel it's weird, a little bit weird, to get hung up on that because she doesn't mention that she doesn't fetch water from the stream to use for cooking or cleaning. That means they have running water in the house. Isn't it? Wouldn't you assume that because she washes in the stream, then she doesn't have running water in the house? Isn't that like the normal assumption to make? Okay, she has to go to the stream to wash. Maybe that means they don't have running water. Instead of then assuming, well, it hasn't been mentioned in the inner dialogue, so then they have to have running water. That's just, but just so, for the record, they don't have running water at all. So it's not that they had it and she wasn't allowed to use it. They just literally don't have it. Then the Magnificent Two find her and decided it would be a good idea to take her with them. Then it only gets worse. I assume, since she only read 18%. But then it's this, where she gets kind of snarky with me, I guess. I assume this is a woman for some reason. I don't know why. Eris? Maybe it's a guy. Then he or him or her. The only nice thing about this was the cover art. Thank you. Sorry, mate. You cannot acquire positive art reviews and expect to be successful when the story is so badly written. Okay. Well, fair enough. Okay. She did not like my book and made these assumptions, and that's fine. It's fine. I think my response was okay. Back, I'm like, well, no, she didn't like the book. She's completely entitled to that opinion. Can't do anything about it. That's just how it is. So, okay, fair enough. Let's move on to the 2-star reviews. Oof. Here, eager reader, we'll get to her. Why did I think this was an idea to have? So, first we have a Norwegian review. So, I'll just translate this to you guys. It's very easy. He says, this was actually meant to be 5 stars. This book is amazing, but I just misclicked the 2-star rating and I don't know how to change it. Amazing book, greatest book I've ever read, deserves 5 stars. Sorry for the misclick. Kjetil, don't worry about it. It's not a problem, bro. I got you. It's a 5-star review, guys. Now let's move on where I can't do that. Whatever the thing that I just did was. And to Kirsten Liam. She says, the story was good and I liked the pacing and the atmosphere. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But the writing was very basic and choppy and reminded me more of a middle grade style book, which it absolutely isn't, as it contains some gore and such. There was no flow in the writing and the dialogue fell flat and felt very natural. Okay. God damn it. No, let's go into this one. The writing has gotten a lot better. Being Norwegian is not an excuse. If I decide to write books in English, then it's on me to get it up to a level that is acceptable to most readers. And most readers did find this writing absolutely acceptable, given that it's, it has a pretty high score. But for Kirsten Leah, I did not meet her standard, and that's fine. The writing needs some work. I definitely agree. And if you read my newer book, Spectre, and the new book coming out, Emperor, it gets way, way, way better. Oh my God, has that been my camera the whole time? Please tell me it hasn't been my camera the whole time. So the writing has gotten better. I think this is a fair critique to have, that the writing is basic. But I don't agree with the dialogue. And that's because I picture myself at the time of writing this, and I remember like my dialogues were like my strongest part. That's where I think that's actually gotten good feedback, the dialogues. But some places probably felt unnatural. I think it comes down to maybe, I'm not trying to excuse it here. I mean, I'm just sort of validating her point. They speak sort of they're not like Avatar where they go, hey, bro, what are we going to do, bro? Which is so dumb. But it's sometimes they speak sort of not very Shakespearean, if that makes sense. Like not very medieval-like. They speak a little bit more like we do today. Not to like a bad degree or anything, but maybe that's why it doesn't work. Or maybe, the dialogue just sucks and she hated it. And that's fine too. That's good now. I answered this, I think. Oh my God, eager reader. Are you everywhere? This might, I got a nemesis, guys. Wow. Eager reader, awful writing. How could this possibly win an award? Well, it did, okay? It did win an award. It won 2 awards. It won 3 awards, actually. It won Best Series and Best Fantasy. I'm getting better as well, eager reader. She's everywhere, this one. God, I gotta find her and pay her back her money so she can stop bitching. If this is a woman. Could also be a dude. If you're a dude, same thing applies. Awful writing. How could this? Stop! Stop attacking me! Damn it! Okay. Anyway, let's go. I thought it was me. Me who had answered, but nope. Someone else. I wonder if she left any comments on my 5-star reviews. Not gonna check. I'm not gonna validate her behavior. Anyway, okay. Millie wrote, felt very simple. No proper depth or thrill to it. Damn it. I still have no emotions towards the main character. They seem very bland. Damn it. A lot of things did not make sense. What do you mean? A lot of things make sense. The bestiary was cool, and the world building around each demon was very fun to read about. But that was about it. Now, that's the cool part about the book. Like, at the end of the book, there's a bestiary, which is pretty cool, because you can read about all these different books. And the originality of this book is, by the way, that no monster or beast in our world exists in this world. You'll never find werewolves. You'll never find vampires, ogres, stuff like that. Everything is original and new. Everything. So that's the originality. Taking back to the first. And she liked that. They're not demons. So, like, they're no demons, right? They're not. There's nothing called a ghost, but we have ghost-like creatures, I guess, with like the vengeful remnant. So remnant, I guess. Ooh. Anyway, everything is original. Don't question it too much. Sucks that you don't have any emotions toward the main characters. And they seem very bland. Yeah, maybe they are a little bit bland, honestly. I didn't do the groundwork that I should have done. I just sort of wanted to start writing. So Ara is basically just a copy of Vin from Mistborn, and Kendrick is mostly a copy of Kelsior. The name wasn't, I didn't like steal the name there too much, but they are similar. Maybe subconsciously I did. Anyway. So yeah, and then I just started writing, and sort of they developed as I wrote them. And this led to Ara having a personality and a growth, and Kendrick the same. But the third guy, Topper, didn't really get a personality. And I remember one of my editors being like, hey, I'm not really getting a feel for this guy, like how he is. And I just sort of did a really cheap thing. And the thing is that he's not really human. What he is he's kind of a monster who changes bodies. When he dies, he respawns to someone else, which is a gross oversimplification of how it works, but I'm not going to explain it here. Anyway, and then I was like, well, he doesn't have a personality, so I'm just going to write that he is just bland because he changes people and takes some of their personality with it, but not much. And that was a really cheap workaround, honestly. I just didn't want to do the legwork of changing the whole book for him. So that's Millie, fair on me. That's on me. Jenny Wusthoff. Sorry, Jenny. I had high expectations after reading a couple recommendations, but unfortunately, this book was a letdown. Oh, yes, this review, yeah. Jenny, man. The idea, the concept, and the general story was good. Somewhere between The Witcher and the Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. The execution of it was really not... Why am I doing this, man? Why? This idea is horrible. Is this gonna... Do you want to buy the book now? After reading this? It's a good book. Trust me, it's a great book. But this is not winning you over. Anyway, my main problem was the constant repetitive melodrama and mansplaining. I'm getting political here, I guess. After the first 2 chapters, I was almost yelling, fine, we get it. Your father was a horrible man and your childhood sucked. Stop over-explaining every single thought. We get it. That is actually pretty good feedback. Because I am sort of hitting you over the head with, she doesn't trust her 2 new mentor beast hunters who just sort of take her under their wing because her father was a horrible man, but he's killed by the monster, and they save her from the same monster. Anyway, and it's sort of, I repeated a lot in the opening first third of the book or the first quarter of the book, where like she's around every corner, she keeps distrusting them and she keeps distrusting them and she keeps distrusting them. Maybe it's a bit much. So yeah, thanks, Jenny. Fair enough. But it kept on going for at least I don't know about the mansplaining thing though. Mansplaining. She doesn't know anything about the world, Ara, my main brain. She doesn't know anything. And her beast hunters know a lot, especially about monsters who are there out to kill you all the time. So, yeah, she needs to be mansplained a lot of things because she could be, imagine if she went like, stop mansplaining me this, and then she was killed because she didn't want to listen to a man explain something. Yeah, I don't get that part at all. That's just, would you not want to receive helpful advice just because of their gender? I feel that's really, really weird. It made the main person seem extremely neurotic and weak, which she is. She is very neurotic and weak. And at the end of the book, she's not anymore, both figuratively and literally. Like, she has personality changes, but also a change to her, like a physical change to herself, which is a cool thing. But yeah, she is very neurotic. Her childhood has been terrible and poor, and there's always wolves at the door. Not wolves, but other beasts. They're always, what do they call them? Ravagers at the door or whatever. It made me less sympathetic to her, and her development was not at all believable. Now, okay, yeah, you read the whole book. Fair. That's a fair criticism. You didn't believe her development. I'm trying my best, and it didn't land for you. Fair enough. Sorry about that. I hope I've gotten better. It's weird that, because she's neurotic and weak, maybe she thought she was like pathetic, and then you're not as sympathetic normally as a human towards those people. So maybe it's that. Maybe that's what it is. It felt a bit too obvious that this was a grown man writing about the inner world of a younger girl. Well, I am a grown man writing about the inner world of a young girl, and I'm trying my damn best, okay? It's not that easy. You write about, Jenny, write about the inner world of a young man or boy and give it your best shot, huh? I, you know, I have sisters, okay? And that's like a shield that I can use to defend myself against this criticism. Not at all, but I've had other people comment that, oh, she feels so believable and real. She feels like how a young woman is. So that's two ends of the spectrum. But Jenny hated that part, and I'm sorry. And you're right. I am a grown man writing about the inner world of a girl, and maybe I'm trying to use my sisters as I don't know. I felt a bit too obvious that grown men writing. Yeah. I'll try to hide it more. But I am a grown man writing about the inner world of a girl. So, and then there's a problem. There's a problem with portioning and timing the events of the story. It felt very clumsy and uneven. There's no flow to the story, just a lot of unbalanced sections. It made the story hard to enjoy. So, story with huge potential, but I felt like the first draft needed much more work before it got published. This was actually published traditionally first by #press. Now I've taken it back and I do it myself. Any a little bit of trivia for you. Yeah. There is one part of the story which I would really like to change if I publish this book again, but I'm not going to do that. So, yeah. And fair enough. Okay. Fair criticism. I get it. Now we get to him or her. Eager reader. My nemesis. I will follow you. I will find out where you live. I'm just kidding. I gave up at 49%. Almost made it halfway. I don't know who is encouraging these sub-quality writers to keep publishing, but it actually annoys me that I paid money for this. Grrr. Okay. Nobody's encouraging me, okay? It's all me. Or actually, I have readers who encourage me, asking me for the next book, so they are encouraging me. So actually, I went into this review thinking that I was going to say that I have nobody to encourage me, but I do. So hell yeah. Listen, eager reader, if you can contact me somehow, I will give you your money back because this is the second comment you write where it pisses you off that you paid money for this. Now, I didn't make much money on you buying this. I'm assuming you bought the ebook. That's $3. Now, I made probably $1.7 from it. I'll pay you back the $3 that you spent on this book. Okay? And I'm very sorry that you had this experience and you don't ever have to read any of my books again. I hope you do. I would like to try to convince you with my new books. But if you don't ever want to read any of my work again, I get it. That's fine. That's fine. And we are done with Eager Reader. I hope we're done with you. I hope we don't see you in any more reviews. If I get up to 3-star reviews and she's still there, I will pay her back so hard. You have no idea. Look at her, right? Eager Reader. Okay, let's move to the 3-star reviews. Now, It's not that much to go through here because many of these are pretty okay. But we're going to start with Camry Myers. And this has 4 likes. So this is a very, very, very important person, I guess. Actually, 4 likes, it's not a joke. Like most people don't get any likes except for me. I'm liking all these. But 4 is pretty good. So thank you, Camry Myers. I appreciate for taking the time. We're going to skip what's the story about. I'm not trying to do that here. And we're going to go. The Beast Hunters is a fun and straightforward adventure tale of a young woman out to find a purpose for herself after tragedy ends what life she thought she was destined for. Good writing. The best aspects of the story are the world building, the interestingly unique beasts. Yes, the mission that the character embarks on, and the action and tension that keep it all together are executed effectively. You see? And this is a 2.5-star review. That's 2.5 stars. Thank you for making it a 3-star, though, and not a 2-star. But wow, if that's all good, what's bad? Also, all of the threats that are open are generally resolved by the end of the story, which was pleasantly surprising and satisfying since this was the first book in the series. On the flip side, the dialogue is often rough, forced, and ill-fitting. The characters don't feel fleshed out, with a few exceptions, and combining these 2 aspects make for a lot of melodramatic situation that stunted the progression. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing a pattern here, unfortunately. It's the writing and dialogue, which I thought was great. Many people say it's great, okay? A lot of people say that it's really good. Anyway, yeah. On the flip side, long as often rough, forced, and ill-fitting, the characters don't feel fleshed out. And they really aren't that fleshed out. Like, Camry is actually picking up on something real. They are not as fleshed out. They're not as fleshed out as they should be at all. They should be way more fleshed out, 100%. And I should have done the legwork and the foundation, but I didn't. So yeah, that's on me, and she can tell, and yeah. And I don't know what the melodramatic summation, that's not the progression. I don't know what that is at all. While I didn't love the character work, I enjoyed that they were doing what they were doing as surrogates to hear about their exploits and travels. I think if the dialogue and character development improved, this would be a great story and would be admirably close to The Witcher in terms of quality of storytelling. Yeah, so thanks a lot, Camry. It's a great review, very helpful as well. It's fun that you could still enjoy the story through the characters, even though you didn't like the characters that much. I love the characters, but I get what you're saying. And I've gotten better in this regard a lot. I can tell you. Read my new book, man. Or woman. I don't know. Camry. I have no idea if that's a guy or gal. Let's go. Jamil Booknook. Yeah, it doesn't really say much. Thank you, NetGalley, for a free copy and literally PR, which did my PR when I was published traditionally. This is an old review. Yeah, it just says, no, show more. Oh, shit. Okay, it's a big review. 3.5 stars. Coming from a reader who enjoys all things to do with mystical. I'm not sure we're going to read all. Let's get to the bad parts, right? The world building was lovely, and with all the unique creatures, it made me going through the books so pleasant. Although I do wish the book was more spaced out, if that makes sense. I think this book could actually have benefited more from maybe 100 or 50 more pages. We could all have taken more time to develop relationships between the characters, or even have them go through more challenging events together. Yeah, that'd be cool. I agree. The publisher wanted me to make it shorter because then it's cheaper to produce. That sucks. Not that I probably would have done this anyway, but I now had I written it today, because this is many years ago. Had I written it today, yeah, for sure. At times the book felt rushed, and that knocked my rating down. I'm all for a good journey quest trope, but I will hand it to Castellanda for packing so much into a book that is a little over 200 pages. It just felt a bit rushed. Yeah, fair enough. And it moves, the story really does move quickly. Like, I really slowed it down with my newer books, where I don't move so fast, where I take the time to do some more explaining before we just rush on. So the story gets going right away and stuff like that. But when CL continues to further the series, this book is a solid first installment. I would love to read about the characters and be back in the world again. Side note, I would love for the author to maybe publish the actual red book to be a companion to the other potential books in the series. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, so that's the book where the bestiary at the end of the books. Every book has a bestiary with more new books to read. It's pretty cool, actually. I love Topper's plot twist. I think that it had been something that was expanded on a bit, honestly, maybe a novella or a chapter with his POV about his backstory, if there was one. Yeah, that's a guy who is not a Ferris Beast mentioned, the Vengeful Remnant. Hey, comes back. That's cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. That could be cool to write more about him and Topper. Topper's the guy who appears to be human, but he's not really human. Now, this is from Bookstrider, a Norwegian book reviewer. And I met her, and if I had remembered at the time that she gave me 3.5 stars, I would have ripped into her. No, I didn't. I didn't remember, and that's completely fine. She's really nice. She's a really nice person. My first impression are that this is a good debut novel with a fast-paced. Can we get some? Call me out. Come on. Let's get to the good part where you call me, where you say that I suck right away. Yeah, when it comes to what pulls this book down a little bit for me, it's more about the characters feel a little flat. It took time to feel connected to them again. For a short novel, I am in need of connecting right away. There is a particular scene that would have had more of an impact if the connection had been established a bit earlier. If that would have been established earlier, I think I would have been the side effect for the reader. Yeah, and that's fine. I get it. Yeah, the character work could have been improved. I agree. I should have done more of the legwork from the beginning. So fair enough. Really, really fair enough. I don't think there are any like. Yeah, I feel this one's really like I get a 7.5 out of 10. That's a 3-star. Is that correct? Like if you change sort of transform a 6-star rating into a 10 like 10-star rating instead. 7.5 is that just 3 stars? Give me more, man. Give me 4 stars. Okay, and this one we get to her, Karen Van Duren. This was the first review ever on the Beast Hunters. 3 stars. That means for a short period of time, very short, the book's rating was 3 stars. So what I did was I got all my friends who read the book and I'd be like, you go in and post a 5-star review right away. So like 5 reviews of this are like my friends going and giving me 5 stars. I'm probably the only author who ever did that. She writes, a nice entertaining read that doesn't take itself too seriously and shows you that monsters come in all shapes and sizes. I got this arc in exchange for an honest review. So yeah, thank you very much. Eloise? This was a great action-packed read, set in a world of monsters. These are just too nice. These are just too nice. I think we're going to move on. I don't think maybe there are more books of mine with, like, if we go through this series, like, look at this. The next one, I don't think it has any 3-star reviews, or it has a 3-star review. Yeah, that's it. That's it. No 1 or 2 star, which is good. I really want to like this series, and I kind of do. Christer has an amazing talent when it comes to world building. Thank you very much. What really lets this book down for me is the writing. I might be mistaken, but I think that it's written in English, not translated, when I'm guessing Norwegian is the author's first language. You're completely right. It disrupts the reading flow, making it an occasional jarring read. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to get better, I swear. And I've gotten way better. I originally put down 2 stars, but changed it to 3 stars. Oh, thank you very much. Because I still read the final book in the series. And although this review might seem harsh, which I feel a bit bad about, but honestly, if I didn't feel invested or engaged by the author's work, I probably wouldn't even leave a review. You're right, and hey, thank you, Louise, for taking the time to write this, all of this. That's it's a commitment. So thanks a lot. I appreciate that. I really do. I think it's really cool to see a fantasy author from my own country, and so it's Louisa. Really hope to see him grow. But I also want to give an honest review. I feel really good English editor could push these books to what they deserve. Yeah, fair enough. Thanks. I appreciate that. We are, oh God, let's move to this one. A poor dragons and mythical creatures fantasy tale. A group of beast hunters, Ara, Topper, Kenrick, and Darlene, face the biggest challenge to date, a situation that may destroy their society. While the story holds some merit, the chapters might be long, but most have frequent breaks for scene changes. Yeah, they do. Furthermore, the story simply stops. What? There's no indication as to what has happened or what is to come. Unless you plan to read all the series, skip this one. Huh? I respectfully disagree. Richard, he is a good guy, though. Richard is a really nice guy. Thank you for taking time to read it. I'm sorry you didn't like it, man. I'm sorry. The second book in the Beast Under Ashbourne series was a good follow-up to the first book. Book 1 is the essential. This is not the case in Book 2, with the scale and stakes increasing dramatically. But let's get to the again 7.5 again from Scott. And it's a 3-star. I don't get it. Maybe my math isn't mathing correctly, but okay, fair enough. And I think I don't know if the third book has any. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah. 0 reviews. Saved. Look at this rating. Yeah, that's great. And then I don't think there are any more low ratings actually on any of my books. Well, yes, we have Spectre, which has more reviews on this as some 1-star review, I think. Look at this. 1. Is there a review? No. But there is one on Amazon, I think. Is there a 2-star review? No. What about 3-star? Yes. And that's DL Frizzle. So this is the only 3-star review on Spectre, an amazing book, by the way, which is sci-fi. First of all, I'll say that this story has some good plot elements, along with an interesting take on the interaction between Titans, the defender class of humans, with different inherent skills. Yeah, having said that, I think the author struggles to convey a sense of depth to the story. Part of the reason for that, I'm just guessing here, maybe the English is not his first language. Damn it! You all sniffing me out. That's the imposter that I am. God damn it, I'm trying. I am getting better, okay? But thank you for judging me on the standard of everyone else. I don't want any help or like leeway. It would be nice, but I'm not getting it anyway. So that's the world, I guess. Listen, I think this one has on Amazon. I think this one has like a 1-star review here. Maybe look at this. Nope. Great. 2-star review. Nope. And then it's probably just the same review. Yeah, no. First of all, I'll say this story has some good elements, some good elements with interesting take. Having said that, I know struggles through some. Yeah, it's the same review. It's the same review, and I'm fairly certain that's it actually. on me, I don't think I have any more like terrible reviews than this because my ratings are generally very high, which they don't seem to be when I'm rating just this. But that's how it is. Hey, thanks a lot for staying this far. If you stayed this far, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. And see you next time.